Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. What is the cost of staying the same? Is it comfort? Or is it the quiet regret of knowing you could be more, do more, live more? You see, every single one of us reaches a moment of crossroad where we know that the life we've been living is no longer enough. And in that moment, we have two choices. We can stay where we are, clinging to the familiar, or we can take a deep breath and say, it's time to change my life. Now, change doesn't begin with some grand gesture. It starts here right now with a decision. A decision to stop blaming circumstances, to stop waiting for a handout, and to take responsibility for where you are. This isn't about shame or guilt. This is about power. Because when you own your story, you take control of the pen. But to rewrite your story, you need a vision. What do you see for yourself? What burns in your soul? Define it, because vague dreams produce vague results. And once you know your why, you must hold it close like a flame in the wind, protecting it from doubt, distraction, and fear. Faith, my friends, is the foundation. Not faith in guarantees or shortcuts, but faith in the process. You won't see the entire staircase, just the next step. And that's enough. Trust that if you keep stepping, the path will unfold before you. And let me tell you, the path won't be smooth. It will challenge you. You will fail. But failure is not the enemy, it's the teacher. It's the voice that says, you fell, but you're still standing. Learn from it, grow from it, and keep going. You've got to step out of your comfort zone because that's where the magic happens. Nothing extraordinary ever came from staying in the ordinary. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, it will be uncertain. But on the other side of discomfort is transformation. Surround yourself with the right people. People who inspire you, who push you, who hold you accountable. Because iron sharpens iron, and you can't become your best self by staying around those who are content with mediocrity. And above all, take action. Stop waiting for the stars to align or the perfect opportunity to present itself. Start now. Start scared. Start small. Just start. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Celebrate it, honor it, and keep moving. The time for excuses is over. The time for doubt is over. Look yourself in the mirror and declare, it's time to change my life, because your future is waiting. And it's brighter than you could ever imagine. Transformation begins with an honest conversation with yourself. There comes a point when you look around and realize that the life you've been living no longer aligns with the dreams you once held or the person you aspire to become. It's not about dismissing the journey that brought you here or devaluing the choices you've made along the way. It's about recognizing that staying the same comes with a cost that grows heavier with time. Maybe it's the job that feels more like a trap than an opportunity, the relationships that drain instead of uplift, or the quiet moments when you feel a spark of dissatisfaction but brush it off because change feels too overwhelming. Whatever it is, there's power in acknowledging it. That moment of clarity, where you can say, this isn't enough, is not a defeat. It's a call to action, a reminder that you were made for more. Change begins with awareness, and awareness requires courage. It's not easy to admit that the life you've built, the routines you've settled into, or the habits you've developed are no longer serving you. But until you face that truth, you remain stuck in a cycle of complacency. This is your wake-up call, a moment to confront the reality of where you are and to envision where you want to be. Acknowledging the need for change isn't about regret, it's about hope. It's about understanding that while you can't change the past, you have every power to shape the future. Taking responsibility is the cornerstone of transformation. It's about standing tall and owning your story, the good, the bad, and everything in between. It means stepping away from the blame game, no longer pointing fingers at circumstances, people, or the unfair twists of life. When you take responsibility, you reclaim your power. You stop being a passenger in your life and step into the driver's seat, fully aware that where you go next is entirely up to you. It's tempting to believe that external factors hold us back. We might say, if only I had more support, or if only the timing were better, but the truth is, waiting for ideal conditions is just another form of procrastination. Life will always have challenges, and there will never be a perfect moment to begin. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that while you may not control everything that happens to you, you have complete control over how you respond. This isn't about self-blame or carrying unnecessary guilt. It's about empowerment. It's about looking at your circumstances and saying, this is where I am because of the choices I've made. And if I don't like it, I have the ability to make different choices. That shift in perspective is liberating. It removes the chains of victimhood and replaces them with the tools of agency and action. When you take responsibility, you also commit to learning. You start to see mistakes not as failures, but as lessons. Every wrong turn, every misstep becomes an opportunity to grow. You stop fearing accountability and start embracing it because you know it's the path to becoming your best self. Responsibility is not a burden. It's a gift. It's the realization that your life is yours to shape and no one else can do it for you. Defining your purpose is about answering the deepest questions of your existence. Why am I here? What am I meant to do? What legacy do I want to leave behind? It's the compass that guides your decisions, fuels your actions, and keeps you grounded when life becomes chaotic. Without purpose, even success can feel hollow, and the pursuit of goals can seem aimless. Purpose gives meaning to your efforts and clarity to your vision. Finding your purpose requires introspection. It's not about chasing what others expect of you or what society says you should want. It's about tuning out the noise and looking within to discover what truly drives you. What lights a fire in your soul? What challenges are you passionate about solving? What makes you feel alive? These are the questions that point you toward your purpose. Purpose isn't always tied to a grand, world-changing mission. It can be as simple as making a positive impact in your community, providing for your family, or mastering your craft. What matters is that it resonates with you on a personal level. It should be something that inspires you to keep going, even when the path gets tough. Once you've defined your purpose, it becomes your foundation. It informs how you spend your time, the people you align with, and the goals you pursue. It's the steady anchor in a world full of distractions and doubts. Purpose doesn't just guide you, it strengthens you. It reminds you that the effort, sacrifice, and discipline are worth it because they're tied to something greater than yourself. When you live with purpose, you live with intention. Every step you take, every choice you make becomes part of a bigger picture. And in that, you find fulfillment, not because life becomes easier, but because it becomes meaningful. Purpose isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become in the process. Having faith in the process is about trusting the journey, even when you can't see the destination clearly. It means believing that every step you take, no matter how small or uncertain, is leading you closer to your goals. This kind of faith isn't passive, it's active, rooted in hope and perseverance, and sustained by the understanding that progress is often invisible at first. Life has a way of testing you. The road to transformation is rarely a straight line. It's filled with twists, turns, and detours. There will be moments of doubt when you question whether all the effort is worth it, times when the results seem too far away or entirely out of reach. In those moments, having faith in the process becomes your greatest strength. Faith doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means seeing reality and still believing in possibilities. It's about understanding that growth takes time. A seed doesn't sprout overnight, and neither do the changes you're working toward. The small, consistent actions you take each day, those moments when you choose discipline over comfort, courage over fear, are planting the seeds of your future success. Having faith in the process also requires patience. In a world that often values instant gratification, it can be hard to wait for results. But the most meaningful changes don't happen quickly. They require dedication, resilience, and the willingness to keep moving forward, even when the progress feels slow. This kind of faith isn't blind. It's built on a foundation of self-belief and a commitment to your purpose. It's knowing that setbacks are not the end of the story, but part of the narrative. It's recognizing that challenges are not obstacles, but opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more determined. When you trust the process, you give yourself permission to evolve at your own pace. You let go of the need to control every outcome and instead focus on what you can do today, in this moment, to move closer to your goals. Faith in the process isn't just about reaching a destination, it's about embracing the journey and becoming better every step of the way. Stepping out of your comfort zone is where real growth begins. It's about daring to move beyond the familiar, the safe, and the predictable, to embrace the unknown. Your comfort zone may feel secure, but it's also limiting. It's a space where you avoid challenges, take fewer risks, and often settle for less than you're capable of achieving. Change doesn't happen there. Transformation demands that you push past the boundaries of what feels easy or convenient. Leaving your comfort zone isn't about recklessness, it's about intentional action. It's choosing to face the things that scare you, to take on challenges that stretch your abilities, and to step into situations where failure is a possibility. Growth comes from those moments of discomfort because they force you to adapt, to learn, and to rise to the occasion. The things that feel impossible now often become your greatest accomplishments when you have the courage to try. It's not easy to leave what's comfortable. The fear of the unknown, the possibility of failure, and the weight of self-doubt can make you hesitate. But staying in your comfort zone has a cost too. It keeps you stuck in patterns that no longer serve you, limits your potential, and holds you back from becoming who you were meant to be. The first steps out of your comfort zone are often the hardest. They require courage and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. But with each step, you'll discover strengths you didn't know you had. You'll build resilience, confidence, and the belief that you're capable of handling whatever comes your way. The more you challenge yourself, the more your comfort zone expands, and the more opportunities you create for success. Stepping out of your comfort zone also means accepting that failure is part of the process. It's not something to fear, but something to learn from. Each misstep teaches you valuable lessons and brings you closer to your goals. With every attempt, you grow stronger, more capable, and more prepared for the future. The life you want, the dreams you're chasing, and the person you're striving to become all exist beyond the walls of your comfort zone. To achieve them, you must be willing to take risks, embrace challenges, and step into the unknown. It's in that space of uncertainty and possibility that you'll find the strength, growth, and transformation you've been seeking. Committing to discipline is about making a promise to yourself that you will stay the course, no matter how hard it gets. Discipline is not just a habit, it's a mindset, a way of living that prioritizes long-term goals over short-term comforts. It's the bridge between your aspirations and the reality you want to create. Without discipline, even the best intentions fall apart. With it, you unlock the power to transform your life. Discipline means showing up every day, regardless of how you feel. There will be days when motivation wanes, when the work feels endless, and when distractions seem more appealing. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward during those moments. It's choosing consistency over convenience, focus over procrastination, and growth over complacency. To commit to discipline, you must first understand why it matters. Discipline isn't about depriving yourself, it's about empowering yourself. It's recognizing that every choice you make, no matter how small, contributes to a larger picture. Each decision to work hard, stay focused, or push through discomfort is an investment in your future self. Discipline also requires self-control. It's about learning to say no to things that don't align with your goals and yes to the things that do, even when they're difficult. It's sacrificing short-term gratification for long-term fulfillment, knowing that the rewards will be worth it. Discipline teaches you to prioritize what truly matters over what feels good in the moment. Committing to discipline isn't easy, but it's transformative. It builds character, strengthens resolve, and creates momentum. The more disciplined you become, the more you realize that the obstacles in your way aren't as insurmountable as they once seemed. With discipline, you learn to trust yourself and your ability to follow through. True discipline is also about forgiving yourself when you fall short. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. If you stumble, you get back up. If you falter, you recommit. Discipline is a journey, not a destination. It's the daily practice of choosing progress over perfection, effort over excuses. When you commit to discipline, you take control of your life. You stop waiting for external forces to change your circumstances and start creating the outcomes you desire. Discipline isn't a burden, it's a gift you give yourself, the key to achieving your goals and becoming the person you were meant to be. Embracing failure as a lesson is one of the most powerful shifts you can make in your mindset. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a vital part of the journey toward it. Each failure carries with it a message, a lesson, and an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. When you stop fearing failure and start learning from it, you unlock the potential to achieve far more than you ever imagined. Failure often feels personal. It stings, bruises your pride, and makes you question your worth. But failure doesn't define you, it refines you. It's not a mark of your inadequacy, it's evidence that you're trying, pushing boundaries, and stepping out of your comfort zone. It's proof that you're in the arena, fighting for a better version of yourself. The key to embracing failure is changing how you see it. Instead of viewing it as a dead end, see it as a stepping stone. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do differently? How can I grow from this experience? Failure becomes a teacher when you're willing to examine it honestly and extract its wisdom. Failure also builds resilience. Each setback you overcome strengthens your ability to face future challenges. It teaches you that falling isn't the end, it's part of the process. The more you experience and learn from failure, the less afraid you become of taking risks. You start to see obstacles not as threats, but as opportunities to innovate, adapt, and persevere. Embracing failure requires humility. It takes courage to admit when things didn't go as planned and to accept responsibility for your role in the outcome. But this humility is liberating. It frees you from the fear of judgment and opens the door to growth. When you stop hiding from failure and start owning it, you reclaim your power to change and improve. Failure is also a reminder that success is not an overnight event. The most accomplished people in any field have failed countless times before achieving their goals. They didn't let those failures stop them, they used them as fuel to keep going. Every stumble brought them closer to mastery. Every setback sharpened their skills. And every failure strengthened their resolve. When you embrace failure as a lesson, you no longer see it as a barrier. Instead, it becomes a tool, a way to refine your approach, test your limits, and uncover your potential. Failure isn't something to fear or avoid, it's something to welcome. Because with each failure, you're one step closer to success. Surrounding yourself with the right people is one of the most important decisions you can make in your life. The people you choose to have around you shape your experiences, influence your mindset, and determine the energy you bring into each day. In the pursuit of your goals, the right people aren't just those who support you, they are the ones who challenge you, inspire you, and push you to be the best version of yourself. The people in your life either lift you up or hold you back. It's crucial to surround yourself with individuals who believe in your potential, who encourage your growth, and who aren't afraid to tell you the hard truths. When you have the right people by your side, they help you stay grounded when you face adversity and celebrate with you when you succeed. They remind you of your purpose, especially on the days when you feel lost or uncertain. But it's not just about having people who are always cheering for you. The right people are the ones who hold you accountable, who push you to do better, and who are willing to have difficult conversations when necessary. They challenge your ideas, question your actions, and help you see things from different perspectives. They don't let you settle for mediocrity, and they won't let you off the hook when you're not living up to your true potential. It's important to be mindful of the energy you allow into your life. Negative influences, those who doubt you, discourage you, or drag you into unhealthy patterns, can quickly wear you down. Their energy can shift your focus, lower your confidence, and diminish your sense of purpose. That's why it's essential to distance yourself from people who bring toxicity into your world. Instead, seek out those whose energy is contagious in the best way. People who radiate positivity, determination, and a growth mindset. The right people help you see your own value even when you doubt yourself. They push you to break through your fears, tackle your weaknesses, and focus on your strengths. They motivate you not by offering shortcuts, but by showing you the way and encouraging you to do the work yourself. They remind you that you're not alone on this journey, and they help you stay focused on your goals when distractions try to pull you off course. Additionally, the right people bring out the best in you by exposing you to new ideas, opportunities, and perspectives. They help you grow in ways you may not have considered, expanding your horizons and broadening your understanding of the world. Through their influence, you can become more resourceful, more resilient, and more open to change. When you surround yourself with the right people, you're not just building a network of support. You're building a community of people who contribute to your growth, challenge your thinking, and inspire your actions. They are the ones who will celebrate your victories and be there when you face setbacks. They'll keep you grounded in your purpose, encourage you when you feel defeated, and stand beside you as you work toward your dreams. So, be intentional about the company you keep. It's one of the most powerful decisions you can make on your journey to success. Taking action now is the moment you choose to stop waiting for the perfect time or the ideal circumstances. It's the decision to stop making excuses and start making progress. The future you're dreaming about will not arrive unless you take deliberate steps toward it today. Every moment you spend procrastinating is a moment you lose in building the life you want. The power of now is in your hands, and it's up to you to take advantage of it. It's easy to get caught in the trap of overthinking, planning endlessly, or worrying about what might go wrong. But the truth is, no plan is ever flawless. There will always be uncertainties, risks, and obstacles, but they're part of the process. The key is not to wait for perfection, but to act in spite of imperfection. The longer you wait, the more opportunities slip away. Action, even if it's small, will always take you further than doing nothing. Taking action now is about momentum. The first step is always the hardest. But once you make that commitment to move forward, everything else becomes easier. Each small decision, every effort you make, no matter how insignificant it may seem at the time, compounds over time. When you take action, you start to build momentum, and momentum keeps you moving even when challenges arise. Waiting for the right moment means you're putting off your potential. Every second you hesitate is an opportunity lost. The best time to begin is now. And by acting now, you're making a statement to the universe and to yourself that you're serious about your growth and your success. It shows that you're ready to invest in your future and you're not willing to delay the life you deserve. It's not about having all the answers or knowing exactly where the path will lead. Taking action now means you're willing to take risks, embrace uncertainty, and trust that the steps you take will guide you toward your goals. Even if the road ahead is unclear, each step forward gives you the clarity you need to keep going. Progress is made by acting in the face of doubt and fear, not by waiting until everything falls into place. Taking action now also means being resilient when things don't go as planned. Failure is not a reason to stop. It's a reason to reassess, adjust, and keep going. Every setback offers an opportunity for growth and learning. The important thing is to stay committed to taking action, no matter the circumstances, and to never let fear or doubt stop you from moving forward. When you take action now, you're building the foundation for tomorrow's success. Each day you wait is another day you could be building toward your dreams. So stop putting things off. Take that step. Start that project. Have that conversation. Make that decision. Your future self will thank you for the courage and commitment you showed today. Celebrating progress, not perfection, is a mindset that can transform the way you approach life and growth. So often we're conditioned to focus on an end goal, constantly measuring ourselves against an unattainable standard of perfection. We set our sights on that final destination and overlook the small victories along the way. But in doing so, we miss the most important part of the journey, the progress that gets us closer to our goals. Perfection is an illusion. It's a moving target that constantly shifts the moment you think you've reached it. No matter how much effort you put in, there will always be something more to achieve, something more to improve. If you keep waiting for perfection, you'll never give yourself the credit you deserve for how far you've come. Progress, however, is real. It's the work you've put in, the lessons you've learned, and the growth you've achieved every single day. When you focus on progress, you start to see how much you've grown, even on the days when it feels like nothing is happening. You stop comparing yourself to others and start appreciating the small steps you take forward. It's the decision to acknowledge and celebrate the incremental improvements, the hard work, and the commitment, rather than obsessing over an unreachable ideal. Celebrating progress means recognizing your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Whether it's completing a task, gaining new knowledge, or simply sticking with a goal, despite challenges, every step forward deserves recognition. The act of celebrating progress keeps you motivated and reinforces the belief that you're capable of reaching your goals, no matter how long it takes. Focusing on progress also fosters a growth mindset. It shifts your perspective from one of limitation and self-criticism to one of possibility and improvement. You begin to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to grow. When you celebrate progress, you acknowledge that success is a journey, not a destination, and that every effort you make contributes to the bigger picture. By celebrating progress, you also learn to be kinder to yourself. We are often our harshest critics, expecting perfection and beating ourselves up when we don't meet our own high standards. But when you focus on how far you've come, rather than how far you have to go, you create a sense of gratitude and accomplishment. You start to realize that every small victory matters, and that progress, no matter how slow, is still progress. This mindset encourages resilience. When you celebrate your progress, you build the confidence to keep going. Even when things get tough, you start to see setbacks as temporary and part of the natural rhythm of growth, rather than signs of failure. You understand that the journey is just as important as the destination, and you can take pride in each step you take toward becoming the person you're meant to be. When you celebrate progress, you also create a healthier relationship with success. You stop seeing it as an all-or-nothing achievement and start recognizing that it's a process made up of many small wins, moments of growth, and opportunities to learn. You realize that perfection is not the goal, progress is. By celebrating it,